NFL Week 12, primetime Sunday Night Football. We're talking Bucs Rams. Bucs in a tough spot here, making one of the longest possible road trips in the NFL, going from Buffalo to LA. Bucs also playing the second leg of a road back-to-back. They had their bye in Week 9, but also had back-to-back road games in Week 7 and 8 before their bye. So this is a Bucs team that's only had 2 home games since Week 4. This may not seem like a big deal, and it may not be enough of a reason by itself to play against Tampa Bay, but it's definitely a negative. And I don't normally give either LA team much of a home field advantage, usually only like a point, point and a half max. But in this particular situation, I think it's warranted they get a bump up. So based on my power ratings, I have the Rams 6.4 points better than a league average team. I have the Bucs 1 point better than league average. So that converts into the Rams 5.4 points better if the game was played on a neutral field. So if we give the Rams 1.6 points for home field advantage, we get the Rams minus 8 points. That's my number on the game. And that's without the bump up for the scheduling situation. With the current line of 6.5 or 7, I show a significant edge on the Rams. Enough of it to bet the Rams minus 6.5. And I'll say this now: if this game was to end with Rams winning by 7 points exactly, and you somehow lose money, you're doing this betting thing completely wrong, regardless of who you bet on. You need to understand the importance of having options to place bets at different sports books, or you need to understand the value of half points, especially on key numbers of 7 and 3. If you like Tampa Bay plus 7, that's the only number you should bet it at, plus 7. If it's the Rams you're betting, there's no way you should settle for 7 when there are 6.5s available. I don't care if your sportsbook only has 7, you need to get access to more accounts. All right, with that PSA out of the way, back to this matchup. I see a ton of advantages for the Rams on both sides of the ball. Starting on offense, now on paper, this would seem like a big matchup advantage for the Rams, who have the league's best offense according to success rate. But Bucs head coach Todd Bowles, for some reason, has given Stafford tons of trouble throughout his whole career. But I think this game could be different. We know the Bucs like to blitz. They blitz at the 3rd highest rate. Stafford, really good at recognizing the blitz pre-snap and checking off into optimal plays. Todd Bowles, really good at disguising the blitz, and this, at least in the past, has worked against Stafford. But there's a problem here. The Bucs injury report is literally like a mile long. They're going to be without Jamal Dean. There's flu in the locker room, I guess, and players that don't have the flu, they're already banged up. But Jamal Dean's the big one on defense. Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua already were looking like positive matchups, and that's going to be magnified now without Dean. Edge guy Hassan Reddick is likely to miss as well. I think Bowles will have to be very careful with how he uses this blitz. If it doesn't get home, this could be trouble. Now, on the other side of the ball, Bucs look like they're still going to be without Bucky Irving and Godwin. And although Baker Mayfield's hero ball made their absence less noticeable the first few games without them, it is starting to show itself now. Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula might be the best defensive coordinator we haven't heard of. We saw the Jets version of Sam Darnold last week, thanks to the Rams defense, forcing Darnold off his spot and disrupting his timing. Now, I like the Rams a lot more if this game was 2 weeks ago when Baker was still dealing with that oblique injury. He didn't really scramble. Actually didn't scramble once in 2 games. Last week we finally saw Baker on the move start to scramble, and that's such a big part of what makes him good. But I think he has trouble this week. Baker has been very lucky this season so far. 17 passes that he's made were labeled turnover worthy, and only 2 of them were actually picked off. That's not going to continue. And I'm not going to say it's definitely this week that it's going to happen, but it will eventually. Now, full disclosure, this play on the Rams minus 6.5 isn't a play like I'm in love with. I don't even have a full unit on this one. There's probably 7 other bets that I like more, but I'm trying to do videos for every primetime game, so the Rams are it here. If you want access to all the bets I'm making, join the Betting Network Discord. The invite link is in all my social media bios. Any questions, DM, comment. Until next time, good luck with your bets.